predictable JINAIR. The thing is, SOS is an amazing, talented human who has actually, he has like more money than like pieces of rice that you've ever eaten in your life. Like he has like if you had $1 for every amount, or like every piece of rice you've eaten, he has more dollars than that. Like he has a bajillion, million, gazillion dollars. Like basically, like when Dr. Evil asked for a ransom, and Austin Powers 5 or whatever the latest one would be, I guess it's 4. Like they would have to call SOS to get the money. The government would be calling him right away. We got to get the money from you because nobody has this much money. We need your help.
There's a reason we call him $$O$ on multiple occasions. He has a ton of money, and well, this is a rematch between SOS and Hero from that gigantic tournament. That's why there was a huge cheer from the crowd. This is going to be incredible.
This certainly will, man. And the thing is, whoever wins this gets some momentum and forces the last card out of the teams. So this win is so important. Let's jump into the IEM World Finals, the Grand Championship rematch. This is the SPL. It's time. Game number 5.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left in the yellow for CJ Antis, it is Hero.
And down here at the bottom right in the green for JINAIR, it's SOS. $O$ as he's often called. And just some more JINAIR cheers. And
do we have the green light? Are we the green light? Something like that?
Yeah, I was like, for some reason I thought it said flight at first, and I was like, oh, okay, is this the JINAIR green flight? I'm like, yeah, I mean, but I guess it was. Like, I guess it was light. So
yeah,
that must be like some sort of glow of hope type scenario.
Or like, do we have the green light? Like, do we have the go to do this? You know?
Or it could be like red light, green light. Now the thing about this game this game is terrible, and I've never played it, and I never will. But there's this game where you.
What?
I definitely didn't play it with you yesterday.
You are a liar
River.
on
I never
Cass.
I never played it. I never will play it, and I will never condone this game of okay, somebody says green light, then turns around and stops, and then even though you did stop completely, they still call you out and tell you you lose. I'm like, that game is terrible, man. There's no real rigid structure. They need to have some sort of platform for you to use with like electronic sensors about whether or not you're moving.
There's no good judging system. That's the problem with that game. It just becomes mayhem, anarchy, and it loses you a lot of friends. Similar to Risk, except that game actually has rules.
And Mario Party. Listen, well, I would play
and Monopoly.
And Monopoly. I would play Red Rover. Send Brendan right over that Red Rover game like 10 times out of 10 if it was a choice between the two of those games. Just saying. Now we have a very fast cybernetics core here for Hero, and it looks to be that he's going to do the three gateway rush, but it's not set in stone. It could be actually that my perception here is wrong. I don't have a preview monitor, and that the cyber core is actually later for SOS, but no, okay, so it's a rush Stargate build here.
Yep, having just enough gas here, they do line up at 150, 150, drops down that Stargate right away, and of course, with this, you can't deny the probe, but he is going to kill this probe, actually, in the corner with the pylon, and it gets canceled.
This is actually starting to become a thing. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, in StarCraft 1, if you actually Manor pyloned, you could trap several harvesters, like, much more than one, and then the pylon finishes, they have to kill the pylon. It's really, really annoying. But in StarCraft 2, it's actually so incredibly difficult to actually place the pylon without illegal building placement with those probes going this fast. Excuse me, with how the mining works in StarCraft 2, so we never really saw it, even from Korean pros. Well, aren't you a cutie?
Aww.
Uh-oh. Phoenix versus... Stargate finished for Hero.
No units coming out of that just yet. This pylon is right next to the Stargate. And
yes, now we can see what's coming out.
Yeah. As our observer does show. Starts a Phoenix now. Knows that a Phoenix was out here and actually brings back that Phoenix. I'm not sure why. Maybe he wants to group up with the more Phoenixes that are coming out here before going over to the base of SOS.
So, in theory, SOS's situation here is pretty good because he has 2 tech paths he's gone down. Can transition out of Phoenixes and into, most important of all, Dark Shrine, because this Phoenix build without Oracles on the map has no detection, and he's so far neglected to build that oh-so-safe robotics.
God, this is so smart. If this goes unscouted, that is going to be huge. If he doesn't make an Oracle, if he doesn't make the robotics, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. But the Phoenixes are in here, puts down the Photon Overcharge and the Scouts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he saw that.
Yeah, does go down. Starts an Oracle.
Yeah, he definitely did.
All right.
The only way this could be smarter is if he actually hid the Dark Shrine. Like, if he hid the Dark Shrine, it might have been scouted by the Phoenixes, but the chances would be a little bit less. But then he has to somehow get a probe out there. It's going to take too long to do reactionary-wise. Yep. He was already going down the Twilight Council path, so it's unfortunate it's scouted, but I still feel like it was a cool move.
Yeah, and of course he does cancel that. It's not really going to be of any use. Isn't going to want these expensive Archons out this early. He's trying to get Blink out here as a counter. He did stop on the Phoenix production, as did Hero back at his base as well.
I think Hero's gearing up to make a Nexus. Now that the Nexus cannon is down, he's actually going to fight with these Phoenixes. And this is cool because he's got 2 Stalkers over here. Limits the last of the Phoenixes. Mothership Core might go down as well. Getting so low. Click
One
on
more
that.
volley would have done it. And he did not commit to it. That's a bit unfortunate. I feel like he could have maybe sacrificed one of his Phoenixes just to be sure. But look at this. We're having Hero back at his base. Just position himself over that, over his mineral line. He's still worried about the DTs. He doesn't see that they weren't canceled, I guess.
Well, I think Hero's in a great spot now. Oh, mind you, he's actually down on workers, even though he was able to get in there with Phoenixes just because he didn't actually kill any of the workers of his opponent. But he killed some of those units and damaged a lot of the other ones. So I like his place here. But Blink coming out here from SOS, starts a Nexus as well. And this is gearing up to be a longer game. The Blink I find an interesting choice. I feel like he's looking at this and saying, like, well, you're going into Phoenixes, so I'm going to need Blink if you really commit, but he doesn't really know how many Phoenixes are being made, and it's going to be a useful tech overall. The skip Blink for Hero gives him faster Immortals, which is the much better tech for late game. But Blink is not a bad choice here, and in fact, it lets him chase this a little bit better, too.
Yeah. But the Revelation is just going to go down, knows he can't stay for long, and he's going to be able to see if any of those probes go anywhere, or if any more tech is made near there.
Yeah,
as well.
That's a really important tag. Speaking of tag, by the way, since we were talking about games earlier, tagbacks or no tagbacks?
Tagbacks is where you tag the person that tagged you.
Right? Like no
tagbacks,
no tagbacks means that if somebody tags you, you can't tag them back. You have to tag a third party, somebody else.
No, I think tagbacks are all right. You know, you just got to run away. You know, it's part of the game.
But
you know?
Here's the thing, though, because this mechanic can be abused. Tagging back can be abused because when somebody tags you, if you were able to just touch them again really fast before they can really move, because, I mean, their hand is right next to you then.
Well, then you got to have a timer, you know. You got to be ready for that situation if it does arise.
I'm just saying, you know, that's something to consider. I'm kind of a no tagbacks guy, honestly.
But then, like, the guy that just tagged, he's just, like, safe. He just gets to chill. Like, I don't know. It's less action.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, say there's a third person close by, then he's not so safe anymore, but he's, like, safe for a little while. He has a peace of mind. We're going into double Phoenixes, so this game has transitioned into, like, Wonko land because this is not like a Choya Stargate where you hide it and you're trying to, like, make double Phoenixes when he doesn't know you have Phoenixes at all. This is him just being like, all right, we moved out of the Phoenix phase, but I'm coming back in, and if you don't scout this, then I'm going to have an overwhelming amount of Phoenixes, and I'm going to control the game with it, plus the mobility of his Blink. Oh my god, he's killing these Phoenixes, and maybe he's going to get the Oracle with one more Blink? Is he going to get it?
No.
No.
Isn't going to get it. The Phoenixes are going to get out as well. He does see the second Stargate, and now he does get the tag on a lot of these Phoenixes coming out. So he knows the fact that SOS has transitioned to these double Phoenixes, and what does he do? He's going to make these Stalkers for now. He's going to start a Twilight Council as well. It is well timed to go into +2, but may want to go into Blink as well as defense for a lot of these Phoenixes that are kind of going to come out here.
Yeah. Now he's isolating these Phenai, and after he kills those, I'm having a hard time actually with this build because he could pick up Immortals, but is this gonna work? I mean, is he actually gonna win the game right here? I feel like with good picks and nice Blink Micro, it might, because he has 9 Phoenixes. Yeah, you know what? This is pretty well timed, and there's 3 Immortals on the ground, but they're gonna get picked up. They probably won't be killed by the Phoenixes, but with 9 Phoenixes, he might even behoove him to try to pick off Stalkers, because if he can do them one by one, he's gonna kill them really fast. I'm really curious to see how he's going to execute this. You
know, Hero's trying to make a Templar Archives, but I think this push is going to come a little bit earlier. I mean, so many probes are being picked up first. He's going to use a bit of this pickup energy because during the fight, mostly what he's going to try to do is just pick up these Mortals and maybe try to pick off that Mothership Core as well. So just going to use some of that energy to pick up some of those Stalkers. But we see Hero trying to get out these Immortals, trying to get out the Templar Archives, trying to transition and stay alive for the late game. He has a bunch of these gateways up as well.
Oh, he needs to make those into Archons. Or no, he doesn't actually. They're feedbacking first, but he doesn't get as many feedbacks as he would like, I would say. And I think the Archons might have been more useful for ground-to-air DPS. And I don't know, the thing is, you feedback a few of the Phoenixes, doesn't matter if they don't die because they're still going to do damage while the others lift. He needs a few more lifts, though, to finish this off. The next round of Warpins might do it. The last of the Immortals is dead. How much Phoenix energy does he have? That's the real question here.
Doesn't look like it was enough. He's going to pick off some of these. I mean, he wasn't able to use it during the fight, but now he's regenerating it. But that's about it. As you do see, it was held off with the Archon just barely. I feel like SOS should have pushed a little bit earlier. He allowed Hero to get an extra Immortal, get the Archons out. And, I mean, he had the Phoenixes in the main base as well to see these tech structures coming up, and the fact that Hero was using this time to get these units out. But there's a little bit of hesitation out of SOS, and the fight doesn't go as well as he would have as well as he would have hoped.
Yep. Well, he's gonna get another Stalker here. This is shaping up to be a pretty crazy game, man. Because now the counterattack's coming over here. He has Blink to help defend, but he doesn't have that many Stalkers left. And oh, that was a used Blink right there. He's not going to be able to have that for a few seconds. Doesn't look like Hero's going to commit. Now he does. Okay, this is absolutely insane. The Archon is important here because it can't be lifted. It's going to do a lot of damage, a lot of splash damage to the Phoenixes if they end up stacking up. And honestly, he would like to have a second Archon if he could. That's a great feedback there. And here we go. The fight here with the Zealots at the back looking a little bit rough for Hero, but it looks like he may just have too many units. Good positioning here by SOS. Keeps most of those Zealots running back and forth. But it looks like there's just a lot of range DPS over here. And now even some of those High Templar are being warped in to help out the fight, get some of these feedbacks off. And it looks to be a pretty clear victory here for Hero. Turns out Hero over Maru here. Absolutely the right choice. A very back and forth game.
Yeah, you got to hand it to him. Just very well played. Using just the tiniest little bit of time to stay alive in a huge, usually high pressure situation, and he just barely is able to hold it off. And with that, he comes with the overwhelming counter push there, able to take down SOS. And wow, that puts CJ in an amazing spot. There's only one more win for them now, and I think we're going to see Maru. We have to see him.
Yeah, I think there's no question.
But you got to think Maru's not playing so well these days. Hero's looking fantastic and on fire today especially. It's not a good spot here for JINAIR, a team that a lot of people would have favored.
Maru has adapted. He has finally gotten past that stage where we were all looking at Terran and saying it was really weak because of Terran versus Protoss. It seems to be that Zerg is actually a little bit strong these days, but in general, Terrans are making a comeback in this matchup. It used to be at the beginning of this season, even at the beginning of round 2, you and I were just saying, like, well, it's a Terran versus Protoss. That's tough for the Terran. Like, everybody's saying so, and everyone's having trouble. Whether it's a balance issue or not, Terrans are losing to Protoss. We have the data. We can see it. But nowadays, I feel like Maru has learned a lot, and this matchup isn't really the problem for him. It's really just his nerves. Now, he hasn't necessarily been picked. Well, I mean, let's be real here. Are we going to see Terminator. I don't think so.
True against Protoss.
True against Protoss. No, if it were a Terran, I'd be like, I like True over Maru. Pig Baby. I'm not even sure if he's here today. Like, I think he's. I know he's been participating actually in WCS North America, so I'm not even sure if he's actually around right now. I don't see him on the bench either, so I don't think he's actually here. So, I mean.